Hi everyone, and welcome to Pride Month at SDL. I'm really delighted to be opening this documentary series and to share with you the history of Pride and the importance of Pride to the LGBT plus community and to the wider world. As many of you know, Paul and I have been together 20 years. We're married, and those are things that I couldn't have shared with colleagues earlier in my career. It's probably only in the last few years that I felt comfortable to share that information more widely than with my family and my closest friends. And I'm really delighted that SDL is an employer that values, cherishes and promotes diversity and inclusion for everyone.
Pride is a celebration. It's also a way of thanking the LGBT community who've paved the way so that I have the right and the freedom to choose who I love.
To me, Pride means celebrating that we live in a place and in a time where we're free to be who we are. But it also means recognising that it hasn't always been that way.
Pride started back in the late 1960s as a result of the Stonewall raids. These were raids by the New York police force on a gay bar in New York called the Stonewall Bar. And since then, of course, it hasn't just become about legal representation, it's been about total acceptance and inclusion in society. I'm also well aware that throughout the world, communities and countries are moving at a different pace when it comes to LGBT plus inclusion and acceptance. And I'm very fortunate to live in a country where Paul and I are very integrated and very accepted. But I know that isn't true for everyone. I know it's also not true for some people here in the UK. So with that, let me share with you the main symbol of Pride. Pride is a celebration that takes place all around the world in the month of June, and we see fantastic processions in many cities, in Moscow, in Warsaw, Sao Paulo, San Francisco, New York, London, Amsterdam, to name but a few, where Pride is celebrated across the world. This year we intended to celebrate Pride at events in our cities where we have our offices. A number of site leaders were keen to take colleagues to these events to show our support for the Pride Month and to show our support for the LGBT plus community, both within SDL and around the globe.
Pride is about inclusion and acceptance.
I really want to make sure that we embrace and we support colleagues of all sorts of diversity in sexual orientation and gender identity. It is a very important thing to do that we should do daily, not just during June. But celebrations and memories and bringing it to life is a great thing to do.
For me, Pride is about that combination of celebrating who we are and continuing to fight for who the rest of us want to be.
Pride means the great pleasure of belonging to a social group where everyone is not merely accepted, but also embraced and honored for being who they are.
When I think of the word pride, I think of a word that describes happiness from accomplishment. And in this case, when I think about Pride Month, I think that it's a very special celebration that the whole LGBTI community has in terms of celebrating their awareness, their achievements, and that sense of equality that we must embrace and support in society in general and in SDL.
To me, Pride means being open and honest about myself.
The main symbol of Pride is the rainbow flag, and I just wanted to share the flag with you and explain what the colours mean. The red is for life, healing is the orange, the sun is the yellow, and nature is the green. Harmony by the blue, and spirit by the violet.
It means that we don't need to hide who we are or who we love.
The thousands and thousands and thousands of people that attend these events all around the world, the Pride events, show that in society people are willing to support and promote and include people from the LGBT plus community in all of the cities where these events take place, and they're very, very important to the community, but also society itself. Society becomes more tolerant and more liberal.
Pride is a celebration of identity, representing freedom of expression and freedom from social oppression.
I'm very proud to work at SDL. I think it's fantastic that we have diversity and inclusion as one of our strategic objectives, and I'm delighted that the whole company is here and able to participate in the month of Pride in June 2020, which is a very unusual period for us all due to the pandemic. So let's make the best, and let's celebrate Pride, and let's show our commitment to diversity and inclusion throughout our company and our society. Thank you.
Pride means being more and more comfortable with who I am and helping others to do the same.
Clearly there is a lot more to do, but I know I speak on behalf of the executive team and a lot of our colleagues when we say we're just delighted to drive equality, to support Pride events, virtual Pride events, Pride Month, and even if we're having to do it in such a challenging set of circumstances. Thank you very much.